So good afternoon, everybody, and greetings from Helsinki, Finland. Just told that it's maybe the nicest time of autumn going on here. We are waiting for the November, which is all about the slush and darkness and everything. But now we are enjoying all the colors. So I represent Helsinki Education Hub. I'm the project manager for Helsinki Education Hub, and we are a University of Helsinki-based innovation platform in which we bring together the academic research of educational sciences, early stage startups in EdTech field, and also the City of Helsinki testing and testbed services. So we try to bring all those stakeholders together in order to enhance creation for such educational technologies that work and are impactful and sustainable in that way.
Nice to see you and nice to meet you. I mean, I already know you.
Yes.
So I think that honestly, for the members of the community, so just to give an overview, this is a school community that is, members are normally learning and development team members, right? So they are people that are in learning and development industry, and I think that for them would be very useful actually to hear about Helsinki Education Hub itself. Mm-hmm. And afterwards, so we will be recording the session and posting in the community. But I think the most interesting bit would be to hear more about the work you do at Helsinki Education Hub, why this community was initially created, right? Like, how did you first get involved into this hub? Yeah, and what, frankly, you find exciting about the mission?
That sounds absolutely good. So would you like me to share just a couple of slides about Helsinki Education Hub?
Yeah, that would be great, yeah.
Okay, that's great. So just a second, I will find those and check the sharing.
Heidi.
Yes.
Hey guys.
Hello. Hi. We already started.
Yep, sorry for being late.
It's okay.
Okay, can you see my slides now?
We see an infinity mirror.
Okay.
Yeah, for me the video is stuck.
Yeah, now it's stuck as well.
Oh.
Yeah, we do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I think we do, but guys, is it me or who lost the connection, or all of us? Can you hear?
I mean, it froze for me.
It's okay.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, let's try again.
There we go.
How about now?
Nice.
Looks beautiful.
Okay, perfect. Yes, maybe it was me. Well, okay, so about Helsinki Education Hub, I almost told everything, but quite shortly, just like a minute or two ago. But the basic thing is that we are a joint endeavor between the University of Helsinki and the Faculty of Educational Sciences there, and the City of Helsinki. So, and we are funded by the City of Helsinki Innovation Fund, and so far we know that we will work until the end of 26, and this is quite a typical situation in Finland, but I think that also in other countries that quite often the operations are project-based, which means that we need to all the time think about where to get the next funding round and such. So we are not permanent, but we are fixed term project so far. But we try our best to ensure that this is not going to be the last round of Helsinki Education Hub, but we could continue our operations also after 2026. What we actually do and what is our core, it is that we bring the so-called triple helix innovation model to the municipality level. So it is quite typical that when we talk about the triple helix model, meaning that we try to bring together the academia and also the industry and the governmental bodies. It is that they work at the governmental level or the national level. But due to Finland's decentralized governmental system, we ended up to work at the municipal level or municipality level. So in Finland, there is no need for a national level triple helix model if we want to bring something or take something forward. But there is no reason why our model couldn't be scaled to other municipalities in Finland too. So actually, this is just a little detail, but in Finland there is currently 308 municipalities, and that number includes 108 cities like Helsinki. Of course, the Helsinki is the biggest and the most beautiful one, but in theory there are much possibilities to scale this system. So when we thought about, okay, what Helsinki Education Hub could be all about, we ended up in a solution that our main mission is to create such a structure that brings together the essential elements in order to create impactful and sustainable solutions for learning. And those solutions should be mostly technological ones. So first of all, we need the academic research and infrastructure. And for us, it's quite natural because, as mentioned, we work at the University of Helsinki, and they're specifically in the Faculty of Educational Sciences. So our office is situated in that faculty, but also we are fully administrated by this university faculty. So yes. So at the university level, our main mission is to generate new research and development projects. We are involved in competence development, innovation and entrepreneurship, and also we bring different kind of opportunities for students to participate in innovation and entrepreneurship aligned initiatives. The second thing what we do is that we bring in possibilities for startup incubation. That means practically that we run twice a year an innovation program where we help early stage startups to develop their product from proof of concept phase to minimum viable product phase. In our innovation program, we do that through this Lean Launchpad module, but also we ensure that all those startups who participate in our operations, they think about how their solution is at least evidence informed or research informed and research or evidence aligned. So that's why we also run this so-called educational sciences module in our program, where we help the startup teams to create their own theory of change kind of document or paper, where they give grounds for their solutions from the educational perspective. Third, we bring in the possibilities to test the solutions in the real life learning environments. And that's why we need also the City of Helsinki to be involved. So after taking our startup incubation program, we can help our startup teams to enter to the testbed services in the city of Helsinki. So they can go to City of Helsinki schools or learning environments and carry out kind of a testing process in the real schools with the real pupils and of course real teachers. And therefore gain valuable insights, valuable feedback, and also validation for the product. So that's basically our model, what we are doing right now. So that was my short introduction.
And so just maybe if anybody have questions, but I have first question is, so do I understand correctly, the way you do is that not only people from Helsinki University can apply actually to the program, but pretty much any institution, any startup could apply to this hub, right? Helsinki Education Hub.
Thank you, Elisa, for asking about that, because that's right. We accept to our program both University of Helsinki or university-based teams, but also external teams. So it's all about the quality of the solution or the idea.
Okay, I see. And does a company have to be based in Helsinki?
More or less, yes, that is not necessary. So we check case by case, but so to say, it's an advantage, but no necessary need. But if you want to come to Helsinki and bring forward your initiatives here, we have a lot of resources to help you.
I see.
Is this program accepting variable markets that startups work on, or like just some particular like AI specifically, or like ecology or some other?
Basically, all kinds of solutions are welcome. So we check always case by case. What we look at when we accept teams to our program is that we check the TRL level. We also check the IRL level, like innovation readiness level, but we also check that the educational idea is somehow sustainable or somehow thought through. It's not totally like out of space that we see, okay, this is not going to work.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any other questions? No? Okay. I actually have one more. Is that so do I understand correctly that the way the program runs is that not only that you are accepting people, let's say, in the startup world to join it, but you're also connecting them with people through in education and high education, or it's more like towards, like, let's say, pupils and schools, or it's enterprise L&D, like which kind of segment of the market you focus on? Makes sense?
We don't have a specific focus, so we accept solutions for K-12, also for the early junior high or senior high, but also the learning and development sector for organizations. So we don't, how to say, limit the teams according to the target segment. But what we want to see is that the solution is somehow sustainable learning and development wise. I mean, that whatever you create, whatever you bring on the table, that it somehow supports learning or human development or capacity or such.
Cool. So pretty much what you're saying is that normally it's like, you know, it's a school, it's university, it's even learning and development enterprises, right? And your goal is just to make sure that startups have a chance to connect with somebody who is, I mean, operating Edtech. This is great. I think this program is amazing, to be honest.
We are also very proud of our program because the person who actually practically runs the program, Nico Lindholm, he has been working in EdTech sector for something like almost 20 years, and he has been running incubator and accelerator programs in many countries for many years. And this is also very much his vision, because he has profoundly found out, okay, what has been lacking from the previous programs. So he has a very, how to say, solid ground for building these kind of incubators. And I'm very happy that Nico is on board because he knows this, how to incubate, how to accelerate startups. And because my background is more at the university, and I know profoundly the learning sciences, the educational sciences. I know how University of Helsinki and academias work. So we can really combine our expertise in that sense. So I think Nico's expertise wouldn't be enough when we work at the University of Helsinki, but if I wouldn't have Nico, I would have been much more lost what to do incubating wise.
And what did you find that was missing, may I ask, like in other incubator programs? Because from what I've seen from his experience, he's quite experienced in incubators and making sure that, I mean, he has specialties specifically in like running incubators and making sure that they work. But what is that he found as a differentiating factor of your program versus others?
It is really that we can bring those three components together. When we compare such operators that we are at the European level, we can see that there might be institutions or whatever who combine academic research and testing services, or they might combine innovation program or this incubator program and testing services, but they are lacking the academic research and so forth. So that we are so solidly bringing together all those three components, I think that this is really the thing that differentiates or makes the difference what comes to Helsinki Education Hub. And also what Nico always talked when we started to work together like 1.5 years ago, that he was always missing this academic part, because so much development in educational technology sector is still carried out without knowing about how people actually learn. And that's the thing why many solutions do not work, and they don't have a long lifespan, because the developers may not understand how human beings learn and how do they, build capacity. so that's the thing, yeah.
And maybe you can share some examples of tech or e-learning startups that had measurable results for the system, and how do you measure these results?
For instance, in our second cohort, there was a team called Wells, and Wells was actually a combination of university researchers. They had a background in psychology, and also those more like who knows how to make art to be things. So they had created a digital-based program for supporting students' well-being and also employees' well-being through kind of a research-based program. And they have really measured what is the outcome of that digital program. So they have carried out research and published academic papers and such. So they really looked at how that worked. Also, maybe it was in our first cohort, we have this solution called Elina Education. And Elina Education is a AI assistant for early childhood education and care teachers. This is very, very interesting because all may know that teachers at the early childhood education, they're super busy and they need to do all these administrative tasks besides taking care of the children who are there. So we helped Elina Education to really build on a survey or such scales or measures that they can see what is the actual impact when the easy teachers use the Elina. So there can be many ways to find out what is the real impact for the solution. But you need to understand first how to build those measures, scales, whatever, that you can see, okay, whether this works or maybe it doesn't work, and how it works, how does it work, and why does it work. So those are the important questions. And if, as developers, if we skip those steps, I think that's it's not going to be sustainable. So there really needs to be put some effort and find some experts who can maybe support the developers in that.
Yeah, we always do this, for example, in our company too. We always like do kind of like iterative process of the development. It makes sense. So we roll out something and then we see like how real humans are reacting towards that, whether they like it or not. So yeah, I totally second it. And actually, I want to ask you, like speaking of AI, because I mean, so it looks like you do have some AI initiatives in Helsinki Education Hub. And how do you think, like, what's your prognosis, first of all, of what will happen in the next like 3 to 5 years in terms of like curriculum and integration? Because I mean, we found that and how teachers will be using AI, whether they will be using it less or more, because we find that universities are somewhat a bit slower adopters of AI, if it makes sense, compared to like, let's say, enterprises. But it would be great to hear like from the horse mouth from you, a person who is like working in our Helsinki Education Hub. What's your opinion on this?
It's a really good question indeed. First of all, I need to admit that in Finnish schools and in municipalities, there are a lot of differences. How do they adopt AI in their operations? And there might be even quite strict restrictions in using AI before it can be ensured that the use of AI is somehow safe. So we could be a little bit more agile adopters, I would say, at the school K-12 level. But how I see the near future of AI and learning, I wish that I see that AI is not only a tool, but it's an equal operator in the system when we think about the learning and development. So it's not only about sparring or asking questions about the generative AI, but more like how to say, using AI agent farms or something that really could revolutionize how we are thinking, how we are creating knowledge, how we are creating added value to things, and so that the AI solutions wouldn't be such that they are little point solutions sprinkled around here and there, but they would be an essential part of the system. What does it mean in practice? It's a different question, but I see that it can really revolutionize how do we think, how do we develop, how do we do things. So that I would wish to see a huge leap from here.
And maybe while working with EdTech on this like collaborative learning, you see that EdTech companies and founders, they probably overlook something in education that is obvious for you, but not obvious for the businesses.
Yeah. Yes. I again come back to the basics, because I think that when you're trying to develop your condition and run marathons faster, you cannot skip the basic training. You need to do the hours and hours and hours, slow walks and slow runs in order to build the condition. I think that it's same in the EdTech development in a way that you need to profoundly know how people learn, that learning is not only about acquiring knowledge or building your knowledge base, that you can reproduce something that somebody has said before, but we need to understand that learning at the individual level is more like inventing or creating something new or changing as a person, and it happens according to the huge body of research, it happens in collaboration with other human beings, or maybe AI now and later. So it's not only about increasing your how much do you know about something, but it's more like changing your thinking, changing the way how you act, changing the way how you are in this world. So I would recommend reading or listening to whatever, or trying to understand really how human cognition works. So that helps.
So what you're saying is that we need to kind of like implement the basics of of what the learning is about, and it's not really about the next like flashy tool, but really providing the value to the final learner. And I guess that's what you're measuring through the initiatives, right, in Helsinki Education Hub.
Yes, that is something that we try to bring in to our innovation program. Really, that's that also that the edtech developers would be able to communicate how their solution supports that. So for people who have any understanding about learning and human development, it's not enough to say that our solution makes learning more effective. Because my next question is why, how did you measure that? So I would like that the developers are able to communicate the background of their solution, also the people who are experts in how learning takes place. And also what is truly helpful, so maybe you're more like working with learning and development in organizations, but if you work for schools or K-12 or whatever, it would be really important to understand how is the real life school day looks like, or understanding the true field work. It really helps understanding the reality.
We actually have another question from Amresh, but yeah, just a second. I'll take a look and read it through. In the meantime, if somebody has questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah, I think I'll jump in here. Heidi.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest barrier, or I guess hurdle, that edtech startups need to get over when they're thinking about partnering with schools and universities?
That's a question again.
Thinking about this from personal experience, I've sold into businesses, and I say higher education and education in general is a completely different creature.
Yeah, it's true.
What comes to the university, I encourage you, if you're not working in academia or nearby, I would really advise you to build networks with people who works in academia, because especially if you're developing something for universities or higher education schools, they have their own laws, especially when you compare it to corporates or business world. Academia's mindset is different, and it's also tend to be much more slow, all those processes, compared to corporates and such. Maybe Alisa knows, but so you need to be a little bit patient. But when you get to know some people from university who has enough power to make decisions or have contacts for people who have decisions, you have taken big leaps forward. So networking is the key. University people tend to be really allergic to those stakeholders or people who come to tell how you should do something, because they want to, get to understand it themselves, because so smart and independent people are and sometimes a bit edgy people tends to work at the academia, and still academia is as every corporate and every organization, it's about people. So you need to understand how the people in academia work, and then you can swim to their hearts more easily. And same goes also for the K-12 and in schools. That if you truly want to understand the reality of schools, it helps. Kind of speaking their language. So yeah, that would be my key advice.
And how would you recommend us to speak their language?
Hmm.
I'm sorry to ask the difficult questions, but I'm curious about that, because
Yeah.
when I was I mean, it seems like it's a very different world, right?
Mm.
And it's the pace is much slower,
Mm.
right? But then I guess the relationship are more long term. Does it make
That's
sense?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about building long-term relationships, because if you succeed to, for instance, sell something for universities, I think that they try to keep you, because changing
Yeah.
is hard, and it's also another slow process. So it's about being patient and trying to spend time with
Mhm.
those people, and also not to give up, because I have seen that I have started many collaborations because those people who try to sell something for me or us or whatever, they don't believe the first no. I think that this is basics for if you sell anything, but you also, follow up, like, okay, have you done the decisions? Can I help you somehow? Should we talk like 30 minutes today or next week? So you slowly get to know the people. I think that I'm not bringing maybe nothing new to the table, but this is about the basics. So not giving up, trying to learn yourself, how do these people work? So
Yeah.
it really helps.
No, but frankly, it's very reassuring hearing somebody from edtech space that that's the way it operates. You see what I mean? Because yeah, I mean, that is a very slow market. Also from what we found in edtech, but once you're in, you're in. So thank you for the question, Thomas.
Yeah.
And actually, we got the question from Amaresh here. So I'll read it through. So what Amaresh is asking is whether or not, like, how would you actually recommend to start the career if somebody wants to start the career in entrepreneurship, specifically in Finland? What would you recommend? Which skills to develop and networks you would recommend to focus on? Which I think is super actually useful question to anybody who wants to go to Finland and expand there. So thank you, Miraj. And specifically, what unique challenges and opportunities do you see entering fintech ecosystem, and how to the best prepare to have a meaningful impact? Yeah.
Yeah. So many questions.
In a nutshell, to summarize, if you're a startup and you're trying to enter to Finland and Finnish ecosystem, what is kind of like must-have community that you would recommend, apart from Helsinki Innovation Hub, which we're already
City of Helsinki offers great services for entrepreneurs who would like to, or future entrepreneurs who would like to set up a company or starting something in Helsinki. So they have a lot of support services, and I'm very happy to connect if you want to me to connect with right people. I'm very happy to do that, because they have really put it forward and resources for helping people to set up businesses in Helsinki. Of course, one possibility is to apply for our incubation program, and we are more than happy to receive applications for different parts of world if you need that kind of support. What comes to the testing services that I was talking about, now I remember that, okay, then you need to have a company based in Finland. So you need to have the registered company in Finland. So that's the case in that way. But yes, contacting the City of Helsinki Business Services, I think that that's a very practical tip for how to, yeah.
And maybe as a continuation of the previous question, if you are a foreign tech talent or you are a foreign startup and you would like to set up your businesses in Finland, how to, like, what are the processes to smoothly relocate or to smoothly set up a branch of your company there?
Like,
or
do you mean
collaborate with local universities?
like how to start? Or
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
yeah, how to start with that. Try to get some contacts. So we are, for instance, at the Helsinki Education Hub, we are very happy to help you to get some contacts and help in that way. Because I think it's basically always starts with some discussions and getting to know about the opportunities, and it's always more effective if you talk to people than trying to find something for web pages or such. So
Yeah, we'll provide your details after this meeting, so that anybody can contact. But in general, also, like from what I'm hearing, to answer the question, it's City of Helsinki is indeed, it's one of the, I mean, to second what Heidi is saying, it's one of the few governmental things that I've seen working in practice. So it's not like, to me, it's very surprising because like because I tend to think about the governmental things that are okay, that's something that never works. But in Helsinki, it actually does. I mean, so city supports you itself in establishing an entity if you want to create an organization, and they even have grants, I believe, for for the companies, and it's a significant amount of money. In fact, like the whole culture in Finland, maybe Heidi, you can second that, but it's very much based on the trust, right?
Yes.
And sort of kind of collaborative approach to
That's right. So as Alisa, you mentioned, Finland is very much based on trust. So I think that's a really positive side. So if somebody says something, you can rely on that.
Yeah.
I would say. And maybe Finnish people may seem a little bit, how to say, shy at first, or not that talkative compared to Southern European people. But I think that when you get to know us, we're also, how to say, build long-term relationships, and also we are much more nice and funny than maybe at first glance you think. So I think that Finland is a wonderful place for entrepreneurs and for setting up businesses, and also maybe setting up your life if you consider that, because this is a safe place, and not too warm summers and such. So there are many advantages, but I would truly recommend Finland in many ways. And I think that Finnish people tend to value that you keep your word. So so that's the thing, and also to be quite clear in the way how you set agreements with things and so on. So kind of a
yeah, so from what I gathered, first of all, I've never seen such like attendance. I had 100% attendance rates to all meetings that I'm booking from Finland. Not a single no-show to the meeting, no matter whether it's a sales call, whether it's an interview call. It's amazing. And second of all, from what I understand, it's like very kind of like network culture, in the sense that if you're accepted by the network, okay, yeah, because you've proven that you're trustworthy, etc. Because the country is very small, right? It's like only 6 million people, and people don't realize Finland is gigantic in terms of the territory, but culture-wise, it's actually only 6 million people, so people really know each other, you know. So you better do a good job because people.
That's right. That's right. And Helsinki is the most international, I would say. So when you go to the countryside, it's a bit different. So people are maybe not so used to international atmosphere that much, but they are also always very curious and very happy to open their lives and such. But I think that in terms of maybe setting up your company or your life, Helsinki is the easiest one because this is really international yet small, but cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask just last question because I mean we are on time, but I want to ask about like giving back and sort of so Helsinki Education Hub is doing an amazing job, but what if anybody in our community wants to contribute? How can they contribute meaningfully to Helsinki Education Hub? Which kind of help and resources do you need?
I think that for us it's always important to know what happens in this edtech scene. So maybe if you have some interesting events coming up or something that we could contribute or you would ask for our help or maybe giving some insights for us and telling about your needs, what comes to the especially European market, I think that we're very happy to discuss more. And honestly, what comes to our incubation program, there has been quite a lot of early childhood education, but also K-12 solutions. But as we know, the most investments in the tech scene goes to learning and development solutions. So maybe that is field or that is an area that we would like to strengthen also at the Helsinki Education Hub. So if you have any ideas about that, we are very happy to talk more and discuss more.
Great. Well, I already got an idea who to introduce you to because yeah, I think that it will be useful to connect you with London partners. But anyway, guys, does anybody have questions to Heidi? No, nobody. Yeah, Amaresh or Esther? Okay, great. Thank you, Heidi. Heidi shared your email, right?
Yes. So that's our email. So if you have any thoughts or something to share or ask from us, you can always reach out for us.
Great. Well, awesome. So thanks everybody for joining.